I had a viewer request a video how to assemble this Brehmer-style fertilizer tender, and he bought it and he was a little troubled on how do you put it together. So this video is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take this apart. This is a new product for Rock on H, so hopefully those of you that want to assemble one of these, you too will know what you need to do. So let's get going. Here we are. To assemble this fertilizer tender, all you have to do is get you a flat-sided side cutter, maybe a knife if you need it. There might be the possibility you need a drill bit, which we'll get to in a minute, and a piece of sandpaper. That's all we need. There's 3 pieces on this, the body here, this auger, and that auger. That's all there are for parts. So let's just go ahead to the bottom auger. We're going to cut that flush as we can, like so. If there's any of these other little weird resin bits left over, you can shave those off with your side cutter. You can come in here with sandpaper and smooth those up if you need to. Go to the inside, there's another one. Cut it flush to the wall, like so. And that's all there is to it. Boom, here we go, another one. Now this part is free. You can set this off to the side for a moment. There's this extra little bit of wire, rod, whatever you want to call that. You can see the transition right there. It gets a little narrow to this piece here, so we're just going to cut that flush and discard that part. We're going to cut the top flush and set that down. Then we're going to cut these bits off of the auger from underneath. And sometimes resin printing is not a perfect science. Sometimes there's some little extra goober in here. You can, I don't know what that, it's just leftovers, I guess. Heck, I don't know. Anyways, trim all that off, and then you are done. I'll just kind of trim and trim with my side cutter because that's what I like to do. You can even come in with your knife and kind of scrape some of that smoother, just like so. Don't cut yourself, that's not fun. I'm just kind of smoothing that up. And then with the sandpaper, I'm going to come in like so and sand it smooth. This resin does not take much sanding. It's pretty smooth, pretty soft. Soft but not brittle. So right there, you see we got that pretty well cleaned up. And we'll come back to the other side here and we'll do it there. Okay, now if you run your finger over this and you feel any other little residue left over from printing, you can take your sandpaper and just clean that off quick. Like right here, I kind of grab that with my thumbnail, and then same thing over here. Now all you'll have to do on this part right here is sand that little extra wire off. See? And that one's done. Okay, here's where the fun comes. Now what we're going to do is dry fit these parts together. Okay, that one went together really well. I've had some of these where these are pretty tight. Okay, so you got to push that in there and it is super tight. This one is exceptionally loose. So this is where the drill bit comes in, and you'll notice a pilot hole right here that was printed into this thing. I've got a 1/32 bit in my D-walt there, and we're just going to drill through both of these. I want to make sure that this is drilling straight. I'm going to actually go back through the backside here. And here we are. Now we can take our straight pin, and your kit will actually come with a straight pin, so you can do this yourself. And then all I've been doing, and if you have a better way to do this, please let me know. This is not glamorous, but all I do is I hold the backside of that straight pin against the resin, and then I just bend that over I'm not in love with this, but it does seem to work. And it keeps those two parts together. Side cutter to trim that down. And that part is assembled. Now you can paint this all as one piece. Next, you're going to dry fit into this part right here, and look at that. It slides in there nice and easy. So this thing is basically done. That's it. Now, you might see some little goobers like this right here is left over from printing. Just take your knife, cut those off like so, and that is gone. You can look around this for other little goobers like that. Inside there might be some kind of left over from the printing process. And you've just assembled your Bremer fertilizer tender. That's all there is to it. If you're going to paint this, I usually just wipe this down with rubbing alcohol on a rag, or you can dip it in rubbing alcohol. It doesn't affect the resin at all. Wipe off all the excess rubbing alcohol, let it dry, and then you can prime and paint with about anything you want. I've used all sorts of aerosols from store brands to automotive grade, and primed and painted successfully with all of those. If you have one of those 2-in-1 primer paint combos that you can usually buy them at a discount store, I've used those successfully as well. So you don't even need primer in that regard if you use that particular product. After you have it the color you want, you can mount it on any truck of your desire. That's how you assemble a Bremer fertilizer tender. Thanks for watching.